Hey everybody, what it is? What's up? It's Gian and Scott in the cut. That's what I came up with this week. Hey guys,
wow.
Welcome to another edition of Spoiler Alert. My name is Gian and I'm here with
Scott Yunker. Today we're going to be talking about The Witch, a new horror movie out in theaters. It's the first feature-length film directed by director Robert Eggers. This is his first feature-length film. It's a horror film. And going back through his film catalog, this seems to be his forte. He makes a lot of horror films.
Yeah.
So, jumping into this movie, I feel like this was kind of like would you say this was like an under-the-radar movie?
Yeah, it was because it was a Sundance festival winner.
Oh, what? Okay.
It was, so I feel it's definitely under the radar. I feel like a lot of people, you know, I think I saw a preview for this movie recently when I went to the movies. I didn't think much. Like I saw it and I was like, oh, that's a little creepy. I don't know, but yeah, this movie was nuts.
Okay. Yeah, when I saw the preview, actually, I saw it and I was like, this is gonna be my jam. I'm
Yeah,
pumped.
you thought so?
Yeah. So believe it or not, this is a movie in part about a witch. So I think because we'll play a clip from the film and then we'll kind of go up, give the rundown of what it's about, and then we'll dive into because I personally I've got a lot of ammo. I got a lot to talk about this film.
For sure, give people
a little taste.
A taste.
Alrighty, so
A little taste.
okay, so this is a clip from the film The Witch. That was not from The Witch.
That's not from The Witch, Scott.
I know. Technical difficulties, man. Let's try that again, man.
Oops.
So unprofessional.
Oops.
Here we go. Alrighty, that's just a little sample of The Witch. You hear the twin characters, these little twins, Mercy and Jonas, chasing the family goat.
Little creepy ass twins.
Oh, they were annoying. If they were my siblings, I couldn't handle it. So basically, this film, going into the film, I try to stay away from reviews of films that I'd like to see, but I did catch the headline of one that said it was a combination of The Crucible meets The Shining. I've never seen The Crucible, Arthur Miller play, but I have, of course, seen The Shining. And what that's referring to is that this film is about a family in isolation, where The Shining is about the Torrance family locked away at the Overlook Hotel. This film is about a family of Puritans in the 17th century New England. In the beginning of the film, it begins in media res. The head of the family, the father, whose name I'm not sure is his
William.
name. Is his name William?
Yeah, his name's William. And the mother, Catherine.
Yes, they're being kicked out of the they call it a plantation, but it's a settlement basically.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's unclear. Something to do with I
think
guess,
it's their heavy religious views.
Yes, like his form of of Christianity was deemed too radical or something. So he chooses to exile his family out into the woods, and try to eke out a life out in the forest. That's the opening of the film. The next thing you know, they've built a cabin. It's
that was kind of weird for me. Like I when they had that cabin, all of a sudden, like I didn't think about it then, but now that I think about it. Like, where did they get that cabin?
Oh, I think it was a time lapse because when they enter they enter like that little clearing. There's nothing there, and then it kind of like I don't know if it cuts to black and fades back in.
Oh, when they were on the ground praying.
Yes.
And
then the next scene, like they've built something. Like
That makes more sense. Yeah. But this was something that wasn't very. This something was actually very common in this time, though. I know. I remember in like high school and stuff, learning about how that based on your like religious beliefs, or if you thought something, or you said something that didn't sound right, or you looked at someone in some type of way, you were totally judged.
Yeah, And there's a lot of looking at people a certain type of way in this film.
Oh yeah,
Which
so
we'll
much
get into.
judgment.
Which we'll get into in a little. I was actually going for something else, but we'll get into that.
All right.
So it's my understanding. Like I took it that at least a few years have passed because I don't remember the two little twins being on the wagon heading out from the plantation.
Yeah, no, they weren't.
Yeah, so like
It was just the one main girl character, Thomason.
Yeah.
And Caleb.
Caleb.
So they were the only two that were there.
So yes, a fairly several years have passed. So it's the father William, played by Ralph Ineson, who pretty unknown actor. I went through his filmography. He's a regular on like the BBC circuit. He played the character of Chris Finch in the original Office, which is a very vastly different role from the one he plays here.
Yeah.
His wife Catherine is played by Kate Dickie, who I've learned is like she's known for her work in Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen that show, but
Neither have I.
Heard great stuff.
Yeah. Then kind of like the protagonist, I would say would be Thomason, which is such a cool name. She's their eldest daughter, played by a young actress named Anya Taylor-Joy, who, again, this is a movie filled with like no big names are in this film.
Yeah, no. Definitely not.
So then you have the younger son, Caleb, and I'm not going to run through every single actor's name, but his name is awesome. It's Harvey Scrimshaw, which I think is that could have been the character's name. It's very appropriate. And then the two twins, and finally the baby, the baby Samuel.
Yep.
And everything's going relatively well for them. I mean, besides the fact that like winter is setting in, they're starving.
There's just one thing I want to cover.
Oh yeah.
Like all horror films,
Mhm.
they cover the same theme of new beginnings. New beginnings.
You want to delve into this? What are you getting at here?
All right. So I took a class here at Ramapo called New TV Criticism,
Okay.
and we would go and we would dissect different shows and movies and look for common things.
Mm-hmm.
And I always remember the common factor between horror movies, and it was always the new beginnings. Every time it was something tragic had happened,
Mhm.
and it was this family or this person that was seeking a new life somewhere. That's exactly what happened here.
So you think they're like at the onset of the film, you feel like there's
Yeah,
like a theme of redemption, maybe?
no, but
No?
a new beginning. That's what it is, a new beginning. And that's what I just wanted to point out that common thing, the common factor of a horror movie.
No, I'm not. I'm thinking about that. I'm not sure if can you say that most movies to some extent are about new beginnings?
I don't know. I wouldn't say all that. Or just in horror movies, like think of a horror movie.
No, this is very true. In fact, I'm thinking back to the two other horror movies about witches that I'm going to reflect back to over the course of the next hour. That yes, I would say there's very much a clear sense of a new beginning at the very beginning of each film.
So
No, I guess I'd buy that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But so what? All right, I have a question for you. What point? Who do you think that this movie was? They shot this at whose point of view was this film? Do you think?
I think I'm gonna take this back to a something someone else said. I don't know who said this, but it was in the trailer for this film, and you and Rebecca were commenting on this. The line, it feels like we're seeing something we're not supposed to see.
Right.
And I feel that's a very apt statement because I feel like this film, it's not from the point of view of any particular character. I feel like it's this voyeuristic point of view.
Okay.
Like you're very much this anonymous point of view that's looking in on the private matters of this family.
It's not just one person. It's like you're just watching the whole thing.
Yes, I think there was a definite protagonist.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, Thomason, the oldest child, the young woman, like I feel like at the end of the day she was the clear protagonist.
Yeah, that's why I felt the whole thing surrounded kind of. Well, not surrounded, but I felt like every problem and everything kind of like it tied her in. That's why I feel like it was her kind of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree with that. I guess what I'm saying is like, while she's clearly the protagonist, the film does not follow her around 24/7. It lends plenty of time. It's a pretty short film. It's only an hour and a half long, maybe even less than that, and I think it gives pretty equal amounts of time to most of the family of the secluded family. So kind of like the inciting incident for this film. I learned that term today in Neil Scott's class.
The inciting incident.
In the inciting incident is Thomasin is taking care of her baby brother Samuel, playing peekaboo with him, and she opens her peekaboo. Ooh, where is he? Peekaboo. She opens her eyes. The baby is missing, gone. The blame is placed upon a wolf came, some creature of the forest came and took the baby. But the mother clearly blames Thomasin herself.
Yeah.
Throughout the film, there's very much this conflict between the older woman and Thomasin, and that kind of ignites the chain of events, leading conflict in the family itself, and it's not necessarily clear how much of that conflict is due to the presence of the witch in the forest, the titular witch, who we don't really... She's like the shark in Jaws, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're
that connection.
They're the reason you're going to see this movie, but they're barely on screen, but when they are, they're terrifying.
Yeah.
We see the witch in several forms, as an old hag, as a very...
So sick. But I have a big question before we go into that break soon.
Yeah.
Do you believe in witchcraft?
Do I believe in witchcraft?
Do you believe in witchcraft?
I
want to open up the lines too.
Oh wow! Okay, an interactive element. Okay.
Our numbers, call us in 201-825-1234. 201-825-1234. I want to know if you think witchcraft is real.
Damn.
I think witchcraft is real.
Oh wow! Okay.
You?
I personally do not. I wish it was.
Scott got excited. This guy got really excited.
I did. I wish it was. I'm still waiting for my letter from Hogwarts. You know what I mean?
But I know.
I know. You're talking about Scooby Doo voodoo type of thing.
I'm talking about contacting the dead. I'm talking about like rituals, and I'm talking about because let me give a little background.
Yeah.
I'm Puerto Rican. That's my nationality. But in the Caribbean, in the Caribbean culture, and whether it be Puerto Rican, Dominican, Haitian, there's witchcraft still. It's it's this it's called Santeria. It's witchcraft. That's what it is, and it's practiced, and that's I've heard stories about it, and that's the only thing that it strikes me that's why I think it's real. And I've heard stuff people going to these witch doctors because they want to succeed, so they pay these people to go do a spell on them or something, and I don't know. I believe that there must be some type of connection with us here on Earth with some type of spiritual something.
I wouldn't dismiss witchcraft as a legitimate cultural, not phenomenon, but as a legitimate part of certain cultures.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day too much of it, I think, winds up being smoke and mirrors, and psychology has an effect, and also a lot of those witch doctors they're stoned out of their minds, or
witch doctors.
The witch doctor, or they give you I remember listening to an episode of I think it was a Rick Steves podcast. That's how white I am. Listening to Rick Steves, and it was, he had this guy talk about he went to this remote island in the middle of the ocean, and there's a witch doctor, and the first thing he does is gives you this broth made out of psychedelic mushrooms, and you trip balls, and so that type of thing happens. Yeah, I'm not sure. I personally don't think. I probably need a personal experience to be swayed.
No, you just know.
No.
No. All right. How about Janine? Janine, do you think witchcraft is real?
Janine
I think
is our
there's
camera
some
woman.
form of connection with the afterlife.
Oh, okay. So
I'm outnumbered.
is that a yes? Is that a yes?
In that form of witchcraft. I don't believe in spells and
Okay, so
shit.
no spells, but she believes in contacting the dead. So, please call us here at WRPR 201-825-1234. And we want to know, do you think witchcraft is real?
Yeah, and then
I know I can't be the only one.
well, you're not.
Well, Janine's like a half.
Happy.
Yeah,
Happy.
So it's
Yeah,
1.5 here. 1.5 to a
Yeah.
non-believer.
I am the non-believer. I wish I was a believer. I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I've got to experience some voodoo for myself.
I mean, I've never experienced voodoo.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it has to be possible, man. Like, I just I've heard so many stories of like things going on, and this leading to this, and this leading to that, and it just I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a skeptic against my better nature. Like, I'm like Fox Mulder from the X-Files. Like, I want to believe, man.
Yeah.
I just can't.
And then you know Harry Potter's not real. That's
It's
real.
not.
No.
Oh gosh, Gian.
That's not real.
You're bursting my bubble
But,
here.
and so is the whole thing with the riding brooms. That's not real. You can't ride a broom. You can't. You can't. There's no like wands and stuff. I don't believe in that.
No, I know what you're saying, I think our audience does too. Like, yeah, you're not saying like, yeah, you're not saying Merlin's running around there.
No.
With a wand.
And I'm not a crazy person. I just believe there must be some type of spiritual, deeper connection out there. Contact. There's a special like cell phone plan to contact the dead.
That's a good line. Like, so you know what? I think we're gonna take our first musical interlude, and then when we get back, we'll wrap up like the conclusion of the film, and then dive into like other films that we felt or were reflected in this film. All that good stuff. Maybe we'll get a caller on here.
Faux show. Are we doing mine?
But yes, we are. We're doing Gian's pick.
Gian's favorite. My favorite today is Chicken Fried by Zach Brown Band. I've been playing this song all day. It's just it's a really upbeat song.
Alrighty.
It makes you happy.
Let's get a taste. Pure and aesthetic most of the time. And this is just like the puritanical, like colonial people, like, and a witch. There's a witch. Like that's my
Right.
I dug that, and I like the way it was shot. Costume design. I loved a lot of things about this movie. It was like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 for me.
Nice.
How about you?
For me,
I think I don't think you liked it as much as I did.
I didn't like it as much as you did.
I think out of Rebecca, you and I, we all went to see the movie together last night. I think I was the one who enjoyed it the most.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10.
That's not that much lower than the score I gave it.
But a 7 out of 10 because I really like the cinematography in this film.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that it was only an hour and a half and they built the story very well, and I wanted to see that witch more.
That was the main caveat for me. Was I want some more witch action.
There was a lot of
I need some more witch going on.
I look for the moments I look for the scare moments,
Mm-hmm.
and I want for me I was sitting there. And Rebecca was cracking up and laughing at me last night. They would chop wood.
On a scare level, this movie succeeded because you.
No, I was looking for those scary moments.
And they had turned into a puddle.
But they would go from silence to chopping a piece of wood, and I'd be like, "Oh, whoa!" It would get to me.
you were the only one affected by that.
It's because I was waiting for those moments. I wanted them to be I slept pretty decent last night.
That's good to know.
I was more creeped out on my way home than I was at night. Because when I was heading home, I started seeing I saw a coyote on the side of the road on the way home, and I was like, oh my god, it's why is that there? I saw a cat run across the road, and I was like, I was just creeped out.
That's great.
It. But I love the cinematography. The actors were great, especially those kids, man.
Those kids were great. Usually, kids in a movie, they're the weak links.
No,
but these twins, even Caleb, I felt was the weakest.
Yeah,
But the twins,
Caleb wasn't. No, I think Caleb was not that bad. Because when he does his
he was good, but he wasn't.
when he does his monologue towards the end and then he dies, that he was good.
That is true. Like he was like, you know, he thought he was possessed, man.
Yep.
He had the soul of Lucifer in him, or what have you.
I really like the cinematography. I like the child actors. They were great. The costumes. I don't know if I said that. The costumes are great. Like I really like felt for these characters. Like there was one point where they were talking about like they're gonna starve to death, and I really felt bad for them. And I think that's very important in a film when the writers are able to get you to feel something for these characters. And I did. I felt bad for the daughter, for the main, the oldest daughter, Thomason, because everyone was like, all the responsibility was put on her.
Yeah.
And I felt bad because they would like blame her for things. The responsibility was on her. And in the end, she ends up having to kill her mother. Her father's dead. Her 2 little twin siblings are gone. The baby's gone. Her brother's gone. Everyone's just dead. And then she's taken in by the witch. The witches like draw her in. No, but Lucifer draws her in.
How did you feel about like I didn't have a problem like for the good part of the movie, you're like wondering like that there's the possibility that none of the supernatural does not exist in the world of this movie. It is all due to paranoia. But by the end of the film, it is very clear.
I like that.
Much like in Rosemary's Baby, that it is indeed there are indeed supernatural forces at work here. I really like that. How did you feel about their personification of Lucifer, though? Like, because I kind of felt like you didn't see much of him, which I liked. Like, should they have shown anything at all?
I liked what they showed of him. Yeah. I just wish. No, I like that. I like what they. No, I did. I like what they showed of him because there's a goat. Was it a goat or a ram or a goat?
Because he would be a ram. It was a ram. Janine, do you know this? Like, is a ram? I guess like a ram would simply be a male goat, right? So far as I know.
I don't think so.
No.
I think it's different.
You think it's different?
Yeah.
The jury's out on that.
Okay, so it was like it looked like a goat, but it had like horns.
I feel like that's like a mature male goat. But
so I don't know if we have any like professional animal. Almost an animal.
It's animal husbandress.
Do you mean zoologists listening to let us know if a goat and a ram are very different? But this thing had horns and it kills. It turns out to be Lucifer, right? And Lucifer is the goat.
You know what? I feel it's like it's unclear, like if Satan was actually within the goat, like presumably, I guess, like because she talks to the goat and talks back, like you assume it's the goat talking back, or Satan could have just appeared in the corner. We don't know.
I think we never see the goat change into. I think the goat changed into Satan.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what happened, or the goat Satan left the goat's body and just became his own body. It's so nuts. The end. It's so nuts. It's nothing like that's gonna like change your life or leave you like, oh my god. But like
I kind of left it going like this was pretty dope. I don't know if I was like oh my god, but I was like I'm gonna watch this movie again.
Really? I'm
probably gonna be stupid. I'm gonna probably make a unwise financial decision and buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out.
I was just creeped out. That's it. Just like super like in my gut, like I'm really creeped out.
Well, you know what? I think this is a great time to take our second musical interlude, and then we'll come back, kind of wrap things up.
Sounds good.
Alright, so my pick for the day. So we heard from Gian. He played a country tune. I'm gonna play "Pushover" by the Long Winters. Here we go. So do you have a specific agenda? I can't talk. I mean, it's a specific agenda, Gian, on how do you want to wrap this episode up?
So the recommendations. I say, go see this one. I say it'll leave you creeped out. It'll leave you like unsettled. If you drive home alone, like me, you're gonna be a little freaked out. And that's enough to go say go see it.
I think definitely. I think this movie is scary enough that if you're not if you don't like to be scared at the movies, like stay away from it, plain and simple. It's not in terms of within the horror genre, it's not a slasher flick. It's very much psychological, very much atmospheric horror, though it does have brief scenes of of not even violence, just disturbing images, if that makes sense. Like, you know, like an egg cracks, and you know there's a bloodied chicken fetus within it. You know, the she goat's like teat squirts blood instead of milk.
Yeah.
This film, like I'm a total like freak for like for like folklore, you know, story, those type of stories, and this film is very much grounded in those. Also, while I think we've established that I myself do not personally believe in witchcraft, I'm a sucker for all things.
A non-believer.
I am a non-believer. I am a sucker for all things like supernatural. I love that kind of stuff, and that this film really delivers on. Well, it could have done with more of the witch, maybe built up a little bit more lore surrounding the witch, maybe, or perhaps you could argue. In fact, I might even argue that part of the witch's allure is that you don't know that much at all about it. I would say a lot about this film, but yeah, I'm just a sucker for that weird sub not subgenre, but of like literature and entertainment of like the supernatural and witches and stuff. I actually kind of want to end this on making a couple of quick movie recommendations outside of this.
Okay,
one, I think people should go see this movie.
I got one too. After yours.
As I said, like this movie, watch this movie, and if you haven't seen if you need more witches in your life, which I think everybody does, go see Rosemary's Baby. Incredible movie.
Classic.
Another one, I'm going to recommend the 70s Italian movie Suspiria, directed by Italian filmmaker Dario Argento. It is a movie which it could be argued, and I suppose I would probably agree on this. It's weak. It's weak in the plot department, but visually, it is this gorgeous movie about a young American woman. She goes to Europe. I'm assuming it's in Italy. It might be in Switzerland. She goes to this ballerina dance academy, and all is not as it seems. And much like Rosemary's Baby, turns out there are witches among them, and that's a sumptuously designed film. Gorgeous images, all about witchcraft.
Sounds like a good time.
It's a good movie. I'm gonna recommend this again.
That was only two?
No, in fact, I'm gonna go for a third one. This one is less so to do with witches and more to do with like the Satan and Lucifer elements of the witch. Like you know, they make it very clear that witches in this world, you know, they're servants of the devil. It really reminds me of another Roman Polanski movie, The Ninth Gate. Have you heard of this one? With Johnny Depp.
Wait, yeah. He's a writer.
Yeah, and
I've seen that.
I remember watching it. Like, I'm gonna have to rewatch it. I remember really enjoying it very much. Has to do. It's like this. It's basically like those Tom Hanks Da Vinci Code movie, but like done right. Yeah, and it's a great book. Very heavy supernatural elements. Also, you know, if you're a book lover like me, it's also like kind of like, you know, this ode to old books. Like all the characters within the movie are book collectors, and they're trying to piece together a volume, supposedly a book supposedly written by Satan himself. It's really cool.
Oh man.
Yeah, so and it's also based off a great book called, I believe it's the Dante Club. Anyway, that's me rambling on, making recommendations, because...
I have one recommendation.
Okay, let's hear it.
This is to lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Go watch this new series, Love, on Netflix.
Okay.
Directed by Judd Apatow. Great movie. Not movie, series. This is a series. I really enjoyed it. If you have Netflix, go check it out. I watched all 10 episodes in one night. The whole thing. I did.
How long's an episode?
About 45 minutes.
Wow. So you watch like not 8-9 hours.
I did a complete binge in a night.
I respect that.
A complete binge. It was great. Go watch it. You're gonna love it. If you're a hopeless romantic like me, you're gonna just love it.
Yeah, speaking of romance, another great movie I saw recently was A Royal Affair, but that is another story. So I think in conclusion, Gian, he's a little tepid on The Witch, but he wants you to go see Love on Netflix.
Go watch Love on Netflix. Thank you everyone for listening.
Yes,
and yeah, tune in next week so we can spoil another movie for you. I don't know what movie yet, but you'll have to tune in next week to find out.
Yeah, you got it. Bye-bye.